Hi, I wrote something for you guys. So here it is. I get a lot of letters from young men who are really good. They're good guys and they want a great life and they want a great family and they want to try hard and have pride and have respect. And they don't really know how to get there. They see me with my family and they want advice. So here it is, as honest and hopefully valuable as I can be for you. I used to do a joke where I said, women have more economic value than men. You can do the math. It's basic supply and demand. A woman gets paid $2,000 or $6,000 to donate one egg. Want to know what a man gets for the hundreds of millions of little swimmers? $75. Because we flooded the market. It's a devalued currency. That's why when your girl's about to get her period, she gets really irritable because her body knows she's about to lose $6,000. That joke is funny because it's true, and that's usually how comedy works. That's why authoritarians don't like comedians very much. Throughout human history, the average woman had 2 children, and the average man had 1 child. There were more childless men than there were childless women. Many men lived. They tried to do something very impressive to catch a woman's eye, and they died without passing on his genes. We are products of this process. Any trait that keeps us alive a little longer or helps us catch the eye of a woman gets to pass on to the next generation. Women have always been the gatekeepers, but that doesn't mean they have it easy. Heavy is the head that wears the crown. They hold the egg, the flag, the source of all future life. So they are in constant state of threat. Everywhere they look, people want to put something inside of them. That's terrifying. That's why, above all things, long term, the thing a woman wants most in a man is to make them feel safe. Modern living has changed the natural dynamic. Women physically needed men to survive. They physically needed men to survive. Being a mother makes you vulnerable. So they needed the best, the strongest, the bravest man that also wouldn't go crazy and kill them. And men, so ecstatic that they were one of the fortunate ones who actually got chosen by a woman to have a family, would run into war, they'd dig down a coal mine, and they would gladly listen to the screams of their babies all night long with a smile on their face, knowing that his little swimmers, his traits made it to the next level, the arena of champions. Nowadays, women don't need men for survival with the welfare state, the advantages in employment. There's no conquering hordes these days. They have birth control and a lethal amount of calories. Women don't need men the way they once did. And in response, men are devolving into indoor cats. Men, with their never-ending and technologically expanding access to pornography, simulated heroes' journeys of video games, and no social or economic benefit to having a family of their own. They don't really need women either. But the thing is, they do. And women do as well. At 37, I've witnessed how this plays out. Women are fed a load of lies that empowerment comes from their wage and promiscuity. And men are a group to be mocked in commercials. Even he can do it. And by the time they realize they're missing something in their life, something profound, something they need, it's too late. You can watch a single woman go from literally laughing at good-hearted men asking them for a relationship to groveling for not good men on dating apps only to get unsolicited pictures of gross men's genitalia as these creeps chum the water for desperation. It does not end well, ladies and gentlemen. Doesn't pan out great for the dudes either. Men lose their ambition, their will, their ethics, their pride. They let themselves get unhealthy. They make just enough money to pay their bills, to keep the porn and the video games flowing, to trick their brains into thinking they're champions. And before they know it, life has passed them by. I get letters from young men all the time telling me they want a family, they want a good woman, and they want to be good men. So my advice is try hard. All of these false realities can whisper in a woman's ear. You don't need anyone. Equality means 60-hour work weeks at a job you hate, $400 jeans with holes in them. And they can get caught in the current of a lazy river of purses and parties, but they don't really want that. Their instincts don't want that. They want to be loved, desired, and respected by a great man and needed by healthy children. There's no tricking women into getting what you want. It has to be real. Tricks only work for a short amount of time. Some dudes will say to me, "That's great advice, Owen. You're 6'7". You play classical piano and you're professionally funny." Yeah, well, none of that matters. That works short term. I'm genetically in a small group of men that gets lots and lots of offers from women throughout their life for sex. Yay. It was oddly emasculating. It's weird how having a one-night stand with a woman who only wants to have sex with you makes a normally cool man say stuff like, but what are you doing for Christmas? Should we shop for car insurance together? I mean, we'll get a discount. My parents were both virgins when they were married, and all of my childhood and teen years were very awkward. So I didn't know how to handle it when the traits that were always mocked by women in me became so intensely desired literally overnight. I went from ogre to tall and gay piano fairy to romantic in literally a week. Yeah, women want to sleep with guys like that, but it's comparable to McDonald's. You want it really bad and then realize it doesn't satisfy your hunger. It just makes you feel kind of full and pretty sad. I met my wife walking our dogs. The thing she's always wanted out of a man was a good father to her children, her future children. She didn't have any children when I met her, but knowing what I know now about her, that would not have stopped me. Her biological dad wasn't a good man, and she wanted a good man for her family. That's what she wanted, and that's what changed my life for the better. The thing that makes a woman love you, not just want you, is being good. Not weak, not emasculated, not falsely charitable or overly nice for a week as you hide your dark side. Actually good. And I was a pretty good guy, but she pulled the best out of me, and every day I try to be the best kind of me, the one that she will be proud of, the one that she loves. Female smut is 50 Shades of Grey, a billionaire violent sex addict, sadist. Might as well be called 50 Counts of Rape. It's fairly terrifying. Highest selling book of all time. Somehow that appeals to something in the female brain, but women don't actually want that guy. Women don't want to marry and have children with the overly tall guy who's on stage for a living, whose brain is so obsessive he is great at piano. They just want to have sex with that guy. You don't see the hours of repetition to become good at piano. The same song a million times as my wife tries to read a book. Not exactly sexy. The bad back and ill-fitting clothing that comes from my height, and what I'm guessing a shorter lifespan, seeing as I've never seen anyone my height 80. The constant frustration at the hypocrisy and irony and overall stupidity of people from being funny is not always fun for her to be around. Touring for a living is a horrible job to be a father and a husband. Nothing about my short-term allures works for anything meaningful. I could have ended in a really sad, empty way. The fact that she sees me as good and heroic in my small little way that I can be heroic, the fact I love my son and I'm kind and I'm not abusive and, I make her giggle and I can be silly. That's why I have a good life. She also likes that I try hard. Doesn't matter what it is, whether it's shoveling the driveway, learning a new song, painting the basement, or listening to one of her stories. She knows I don't really understand. Or listening to one of the stories she knows I don't really understand. If I'm trying, her eyes light up. They just want you to try. She's seen me do Carnegie Hall, and she's seen me paint the basement. And she was more impressed by the basement because she knows how much harder that is for me. So you don't have to be rich, famous, or ripped. I currently have a bit of a gut, but she can't keep her hands off it. You know what I'm saying? I have no consistency in my income. I'm not wealthy. Half of Hollywood has publicly called me a Nazi because I believe in the free market and consider treating children like they're trans child abuse, and I won't shut up about it. She loves me, not in spite of it, but part of it is because of those traits. She loves me for keeping my ground, not appeasing people I don't respect, and most of all, being good. I'm not all good. As Solzhenitsyn said, and Dr. Jordan Peterson repeats over and over again, the line between good and evil goes down the middle of a human heart. I could have ended bad. I could still be bad. I work every day to be good, but it's worth it for a family. Be good. My final advice for young men that keep writing me emails and they want to know what to do with their lives. A lot of young men feel lost right now. They feel abandoned. They feel undervalued. They feel like they're sick of being said that they're toxic. You know, the school system isn't designed for men. Men are physical. They learn with their hands. You know, I had a trainer in Hollywood who's now legitimately my top 3 best friends because I used to call him my shrink. I've never worked well with shrinks. I've went to 2 shrinks and I love both. Well, one I don't even remember, and the other one's a really good guy, but that doesn't do it for me. I need to physically move heavy things, and I cry with my sweat, and that's how I get through problems, and that's how a lot of men get through problems. And the school system is not designed for men, and they're emasculating men, and they make us feel like we're not needed or wanted. They turn on a commercial, it's like even dad can do it. You know, the guy that works all the time. I kind of got off track, but the people that write to me, I just want you to know the future isn't bleak. It's great. You just have to try. And I believe in you guys, you know, because you can't fight DNA. It doesn't matter how much welfare someone gets or what their divorce settlement is or all the propaganda or all the TV shows making it seem like to be a woman you have to work all the time and having a family is a bummer and having a baby is a bummer and you're going to get saggy boob. No, that's all propaganda. You can't fight our DNA. And that's the DNA that's been forming inside of us for longer than we can imagine tells women that to be completed by a good, strong man that will love and respect them. And the DNA telling men to impress the hell every day of their life out of that woman who has chosen them. I hope that helps. The future's bright, and I love you guys, and I'm rooting for you guys.